Untouched no more. Welcome to Club Deep, where sin is a promise, and pleasure is a weapon. Rules don't apply here. Not to them. Not to you. The men who run this place aren't just powerful, they're predators. And they've been watching you. Step inside if you dare. But don't expect to leave untouched. Episode 1. Slamming the car door, I attempt to use my bag to protect myself from the rain. It's not effective. It's raining hard and the sheets of water make it almost impossible for me to see the club entrance. At least I am receiving a uniform today. Minor gifts. I see a glimpse of the front door as headlights slice through the rain. Smoking. Some folks congregate beneath the building's edge. Unlike most clubs, the club lacks any flashy neon signage. Actually, except I didn't know there was a club here, I could believe it was a vacant structure and that other companies were using the complete parking lot. My interview brought me here once previously, during the day. That meant I missed the sign deficit. I run for the door and give up trying to stay dry. A significant highway accident caused me to be half-hour late for my first duty. By the time I enter, I'll be fortunate if they haven't already dismissed me. One story down from the main club area, the basement opens onto a big two-story room. Though I have no idea what the upstairs levels are for, I have been informed Club Deep owns the complete structure. Not my concern, however. Waving me through, the bouncer lets me gather my hair in my hands and attempt to wring it out as best I can. Rushing down the stairs, I attempt to tie it back by knotting it at the rear of my head. Once I arrived, I should have changed into the heels and wore better shoes. I have learned my lesson. The only items the club doesn't offer are shoes. A deep thumping runs through the walls. Music space. The sounds of people begin to reach me, and the stairs are aglow with flashing, multicolored lights. This area was amazing when it was empty and dark, so I'm eager to see it when it's full with vitality. Hitting the last stair incorrectly causes me to stumble and struggle to maintain my balance. True to Andrea's style, it fails and I'm ready to be sprawled on the floor when an arm saves me by catching me around the waist. The individual corrects me and I instantly spin. Thanks. I apologize very much. It's raining outside and I must have slipped and my words unexpectedly run out as I absorb my savior. His lips are the first thing I see. Full lips, crying out for contact. Then his dark eyes. All the lights make it impossible for me to see the hue, but I don't need to see the hue to sense the strength of his stare. He wears vest and button-down shirt. They fit him exactly, and the sleeves are rolled up to reveal toned forearms with a glimpse of tattoos underneath. Still around my waist, arms gripping me tightly to ensure I am standing. Arms guiding to a body that seems rock-rigid. Crap! Should this be the sort of individual that visits Club Deep, count me in. Certainly, please. He smiles slowly and easily. You okay? Sure. I believe so. Excellent. Behind him, a waitress walks by and my thoughts return to the real reason I'm here. I apologize, I must leave. You wouldn't chance to know where the employee changing room is? Handsome guy points across the club to let me go. The entrance is behind the bar, over there. Thank you. I wish I could speak to him more, but I require this employment. Maintaining it takes precedence over flirting. Regrettably for me, the club is already active, the dance floor crowded with people under the spinning laser lights. I dash through the throng of people as fast as I can, and house music pulses under my feet. I hope my soaked condition would justify my tardiness. I locate the entrance just where he said. Fortunately, someone is just then exiting. I take the chance to enter the changing room. Behind me, the sounds of the club dwindle to nearly stillness. Then soundproofed. I observe a lot of go-go dancers preparing for the following shift in the large, pleasant locker area, along with some waiters spread around. A sharp voice pierces the room. "You Andrea?" "Yes, that's me." A little blonde lady approaches me grinning. "Your presence pleases me. My name is Rosie. Your supervisor is me." "I'm your supervisor. Given that we are rather short-staffed this evening, I have to provide you the fast-fire orientation." She gives me a stack of clothing. "Very well. Sorry I'm late actually. A highway accident caused this downpour. Just let it not happen again." Her smile doesn't touch her eyes. "Accompany me." She takes me to a corner locker and gives me a sheet of paper. "It's yours. Your own safe code is there with the combination. Every staff member has one, so we know every time the safe is opened. You are gone if your code was the one used and money is vanished. Your first knowledge is that. Understood?" "Understood." I unlock the locker and stuff my bag within. "May I dress as you speak?" "Feel free." I hang my drenched shirt inside the locker after peeling it over my head. I hope it dries at least a little before I go home later. Hold on to the cash from clients to enable you to alter. We bring refreshments people order from their stations. Should they not have paid by card, most of them have not, since they do not want Club Deep on their billing records. They will provide you cash immediately. At the conclusion of the evening, using your code, you will leave that cash. Rule number 2, no X with clients on the clock. Your time is my time when you are working, I don't care what you do once you punch out. Number 3, especially for the orgy room, keep all the theme rooms filled with materials while you're not serving. They consume a great deal. And don't disturb any ongoing scenes. Number 4, clean while wearing gloves. The rest you can pick up on the fly, that's the down and dirty fundamentals. That all sounds good? Well, maybe. What would motivate me to have X at my job? She mentioned an ORG room. I have to work out what that means later. Yes, gloves. Always clever. I nod, hoping to take in all. I had on the low-slung black trousers. So tight are they that they feel like a second skin. Black with additional ornamental straps clinging to my flesh, the top is hardly more than a bra. They did say the uniform would be like this, but now that I have it on, it's somewhat odd. I look at the locker mirror. They have selected this for a purpose. It seems appealing. Rosie responds, "You may change them out, you'll receive a second uniform later. Meet me at the bar after taking a few minutes." Understood. She departs, and I comb my hair, squeezing more water out of it. Hold on, what? Everything she just told me strikes at once. Clients get no X? Goodness. Orgy, not ORG. I understand this is an entirely different club from what I imagined. This is a club for X. I guess it's too late to go back now. Emerging from the locker room, I see the club with fresh perspective. During the day, clubs appear different, dead and deserted, nothing is as it seems. The first time I was hurrying through too fast to truly absorb all of this. It's not what I had imagined. I now see the cordoned off sections along the walls teeming with unusual equipment and people undergoing different degrees of X activity. But there is more to it than that. The whole center of the club is a huge dance floor. Surrounding it are 3 bars, go-go dancers are atop the bars and hanging in cages from the ceiling. A balcony circles the whole club 1 story up. Up there are tables and sofas strewn about, I assume that's where Andrea referred to the theme rooms. From just here I can see a large window onto what appears to be a room full with trees. Above that is another level, from down here I cannot see what is up there. I breathe deeply in attempt to comfort myself. So this is AX Club, then. Not a big deal, correct? It does not alter the job description in any way. You are still here to be a waitress, and that is precisely what you will do. You might just see more nudity than you expected. Rosie spots me and beckons me to the bar. Here. Yelling over the music, she gives me a plastic card. Key card. Even if the theme rooms have been rented or locked, this will provide you access to the locker room, stock room, and restocking. I agree. All right. In fact, I want you to do that right away. Come along. We cross the dance floor to one of the staircases. Rosie takes me up the steps to a rear corner where a door merges undetectably into the wall. Had Rosie not paused in front of it, I likely would not have seen it. Waving her own plastic card at hip level by the door, she shows me the sensor's outline. I follow her in as the door opens. Once more, the abrupt lack of noise is unsettling. Upstairs and downstairs are the 2 stock rooms. Not having to haul many things up the stairs helps one to refill more easily. Bright and clean, the stock room is stocked with bottles of lube, chocolate bars, bottled water, blankets, and more. Rosie points to the corner computer and turns on the screen with her finger. The rooms up here haven't been replenished in a few hours, hence I want you to do that. Though nothing will be very low, it will be excellent for you to practice. This floor has 7 rooms. The shelves you will need to refill are impossible to overlook. I cough. And what if something's going on? So you mean if someone is having X or performing a scene? Yes, I respond. When I applied, I really had no knowledge about that feature. She unexpectedly laughs. You can't be serious, right? I shake my head and she chuckles more. You must be feeling as though you're way over your head. That is possible. I gave a hesitant chuckle. She claims, it's not going to be as awkward as you're thinking. Everyone who plays at the club knows the guidelines. They are accustomed to both monitors and wait staff coming in and out. Moreover, most of the time they are so absorbed in their own small universe that they will not even see you. Simply be silent and swift. Don't be a bother. That is possible for me. Well, I believe I can. No idea at all. The 3rd level has what? Rosie raises a hand. That is the VIP section. You should not be concerned about that for the time being. She indicates the computer. Just note how much of each item you put in there after stocking a room. Clicking on the tab marked Orgy, she reveals the menu that appears and explains how to enter the figures. It's crucial since this guarantees we can stay on top of orders and not run out. Pretty simple, that's roughly all. Should you have any issues, come see me downstairs, otherwise, in an emergency, monitors are patrolling the floors. Rosie heads for the stairs as we exit, the door to the stockroom closing behind us. She moves as though she is certain nothing will slow her down. Just before the steps, she turns back. Red is the club safe word, too. Should you hear someone mention it, get a monitor in that room right away. Understood? Understood. No stress. Sometimes I am relieved I don't have to immediately serve clients. At least I will be able to somewhat find my bearings. Even if I'm going to be walking in and out of rooms full of individuals. My thoughts immediately run to rooms teeming with individuals in all different phases of intercourse. Hands stroking, lips sucking, skin glistening with perspiration and thrusting. A wave of heat runs through me, I choose to disregard it. Looking around the balcony, I take a deep breath. Might as well go clockwise, correct? To my first relief, the first room is vacant. I scan my card and the door quietly opens. It's dry and toasty in here. Draped in silks, it resembles either a mystical desert temple or something from Aladdin. The room smells nice, like incense, and pillows are strewn around the floor. It occurs to me that this is a harem chamber. You can't miss the shelves. As Rosie noted, they are just next to the entry and I scan all around. To monitor what to stock, I will need to take a notepad from the stockroom. I am able to. I put a couple of bottles of water in the harem room and record them on the computer. A little side room has garment racks. My curiosity wins out, so I turn on the light. Outfits. From Disney's Aladdin to more conventional Arabian Nights, everything is in here. There's also a basket marked laundry. This is both incredible and insane. One can easily picture getting carried away at a location like this, and I am not at all shocked that it is so busy. The following theme room is far more complex. Rosie mentioned this as the orgy room. The room itself is beautiful. It reminds me somewhat of the king's room in the animated movie Cinderella. A massive, shining chandelier hangs above an enormous bed that occupies nearly the whole room. The whole place is warm and cozy. And full of people screwing. I know I'm not meant to be distracting, or distracted, but good God, it's nearly precisely what I pictured. On the enormous bed, easily 20 individuals are twisted and intertwined. Cradled between two men, a woman is being shared. I expected to be uneasy, but I'm actually damp. It's so beautiful that I want to keep looking. A female performing a blowjob looks up at me and smiles. I blush, recalling that I came to replenish the supplies. No wonder it uses the most resources if this area can fit this many people. Rosie was right, these shelves require a lot of replenishing and several trips to replenish their fullness. Being in that throng doesn't appeal to me, but seeing so many individuals interact and follow their desires with one another is incredible and exciting. Darn! Being horny at work caught me off guard. I suppose that's why they established the policy against X activity during working hours. I'm interested to know how often that occurred before they had to regulate it. With shackles and wooden tables and equipment that's quite frightening. The next area is chilly stone and torches. But not so frightening that it doesn't occupy my head with pictures that make me wriggle in the finest manner. Though I've never really considered that sort of thing, the sight of a cross clearly intended to spread someone open sends tingles of want over my skin. Being chained and exposed, the concept makes me breathless. Looking about, I see some others playing in here and I'm interested, but the room's mood is so strong I don't feel I can observe without bothering. Before going on, I restock the shelves as fast and silently as I can. It turns out to be very simpler than I had expected. And not as strange. I complete all the rooms in just over an hour. Someone could likely simply keep circling doing refills. Rosie didn't tell me to do that, so I put my final numbers in the computer and go down to the dance floor. As I approach the main bar, I don't see Rosie and the barman is also unaware of her whereabouts. I choose to wait since I don't want to do anything on my first day not meant for me. Still, I search for her by glancing around the room to the other bars to see whether she is present. What do you think of my club then? From behind me, the deep voice, I turn to see my attractive savior. He's leaning against the bar, completely relaxed, and now that I'm not an adrenaline-fueled disaster, I can see more clearly how hot he is. His shirt strains slightly around his chest and arms, as though it can't quite hold him. His little grin like that of the enigmatic movie character you know will alter the plot. He inquired of me. Suddenly my thinking catches up and I believe my jaw drops open. Your organization? You own it? The music drowns it out, but I can see his chest shaking with laughter. Sure, one of them. I own it with 2 pals. I exclaim, wow! It's a lot, I mean. You didn't know what it was, did you? That annoying tiny grin punctuates his speech. I close my lips, wishing it was dark enough in here for him to miss my flush. How did you find out? Most applicants to work here seek the staff discount on membership. He gives a shrug. It motivates them well and helps many others to work more. Your interview did not bring it up. Most of the time, people do. You were at my interview? He declines. Not really. I talked to Jared. Jared is the club manager who hired and interviewed me. Oh. I'm Cole, he adds, extending his hand to me. My hand dwarfed by his size, I accept. Andrea. But you likely already knew that. In the turmoil of the club lights, his complete grin is stunning, nearly sparkling. I hope you're not too overrun. It's a lot to absorb when you believe you're working at a nightclub and it's really, I chuckle. I lack the vocabulary to precisely define this location. Cole completes for me, so much more than that. My partners and I wanted somewhere for everyone to have their fantasy. Where anyone might come and safely be themselves, explore deep until they discover who they really are. Somehow, during the talk, we have grown closer, so close that I don't even have to struggle to hear him above the music. So near that, should any of us move an inch, we may be touching. Is that where the name originates? Indeed. I nod my head. To be honest, I'm not sure how to react to it. You need not be certain. Exploration is what we are all about here. Should you require any assistance with your investigation, please do not hesitate to inform me. He winks, and my breath stops in my chest. That similar erection I experienced upstairs makes my body heated. Indeed. They surely require the policy prohibiting X activity during working hours. With guys like Cole roaming about, no one would ever accomplish anything. So far, everything seems to be going well. Though it's a lot, right? Certainly, sir. His expression becomes grave and I catch a glimpse of something hot and black in his eyes. We're quite casual around here. Every staff member is welcome to reach me, Cole. Still, he says with a significant look at me, I really enjoy being called sir. Under the severity of his stare, I swallow and my mouth becomes dry. That will stay with me. I will keep that in mind, sir. Cole withdraws from me and all of a sudden I can breathe. His enigmatic grin indicates, I'm sure I'll see you soon, certainly. Only until he is out of sight do I see how foolish I must have sounded only then. Sure. Perhaps something flirty or clever. No, you go with yes. I shake my head in disbelief. This explains my singleness. Pull yourself together, Andrea. From behind the bar, I take a bottle of water. There's a fridge marked staff, so I'm guessing it's fine. Should it not be, I am certain I will soon learn. Rosie stands in front of me as I take the final drink from the bottle. Did you complete the rooms? Certainly. Completely stocked. You were correct, the orgy room required the most. She grins. Certainly. One may understand why. I chuckle. It's a really good performance. Rosie removes my vacant bottle from the bar and throws it into the recycling bin. Exactly. You have a fresh task, then. One of the owners requests that you upstairs in the VIP lounge pouring drinks for him and his visitors. Really? Sometimes, sure, they would rather have a committed waitress than only call down for beverages. The visitors this evening are significant, in my opinion, so it is absolutely vital that you make them feel unique. Whatever they require, ensure they possess it. Show me your key card. I hand it to her, she brings it to the bar's monitor. She swipes the card and does some number tapping before returning it to me. Back there is the lift for wait personnel. She indicates a shadowy area close to the dressing room. The blue chamber is up there. That will allow you to swipe in. Start moving. I told you working would teach you a lot. I walk to the corner she indicated and then turn around. Rosie, you mentioned one of the owners? Why would they ask for me? No idea, she replies, shrugging. He just said he wanted you up there. My stomach's pit is full of butterflies. Am I correct? Which one? Cole Andrews. Stop inquiring, they are waiting. Rushing to the lift, I attempt to lift my jaw off the ground. Goodness gracious! The elevator is almost too quiet, and I think that going back and forth between the blasting music and absolute silence is going to take some getting used to. I was expecting the third floor to be a balcony like the second floor, but it's not. The elevator doors open onto a gorgeous hallway. Dark, sparkling marble is arranged in geometric patterns on the floor, and colored lights line the edges. The hallway curves out of view, it must circle the whole club. The lights that stream up from the floor are vibrant, painting color along the walls and ceiling. It doesn't take me long to notice that those colors are corresponding to rooms. The first stretch of the hallway is green, and the door in that section is green. The next section is orange. I pass through a purple and a yellow section before I finally reach a blue one. Pausing outside the door, I take a deep breath. Cole requested me. I have no idea why. Whether it's because he thinks I'll be good eye candy or because he felt the same thing I felt between us, I don't know. What I do know is that it's still my first day, and I need to do a good job no matter how he makes me feel. I pass my keycard over the little panel, and the door slides aside silently. The room is entirely glass floor, walls, and ceiling. Below, you can see the entirety of the club spread out downstairs, and I have vertigo just looking. The music from downstairs is being pumped in through speakers, though it's low enough to easily hear over. There are comfortable couches and chairs, and they're filled. I count 7 men sitting in the room, one of whom is Cole. Everyone turns to me as I come in, and I swallow my nerves as I step inside. Seeing me, Cole smiles. "Come in, please. Everyone, this is Andrea. She's new to Club Deep, and I've invited her to be our waitress this evening." He gestures me forward and points out at 2 of the men. They're both handsome, though I don't feel drawn to them the way I do to Cole. "Andrea, this is Julian Rivers and Hudson Carl, my business partners. And these are our clients." I smile and nod, not sure exactly how much I'm supposed to say. Cole looks at me, and I think he senses my discomfort because he keeps talking to his clients. I notice that he hasn't mentioned their names. Given Rosie's warnings about most people paying in cash, and the nature of the club, I'm sure that it was intentional. "Can I interest you gentlemen in something to drink?" "Of course," Julian says, smiling at me and picking up Cole's cue. "I'll take a whiskey neat please." "And I'll take a Guinness," Hudson tells me. His voice is a deep bass that practically rumbles. The other men look skeptical, I'm not sure why, but they give drink orders as well. I'm glad I still have the notepad from stocking the shelves. I don't know that I would have been able to keep 7 different drink orders straight. Hopefully I'll be able to do it without the pad eventually. I head for the door and Cole keeps step with me. "I hope this is all right," he says. "I thought you might like to be away from the frenzy your first night." A wave of surprise rolls over me, and then pleasure. He thought about me. The fact that he wanted to make me happy, even for a second, I smile at him. "That's nice of you. I thought you might have wanted me just for eye candy." The look on his face deepens into a more than friendly smile. "Oh, you are that. But that wasn't the reason I brought you up here." "Certainly not the only reason. There are other reasons." Butterflies take up residence in my stomach at his words. Cole leans a little closer, lowering his voice so no one can hear but me. "I can think of a lot of reasons. None of them should be said out loud while we have company." I raise an eyebrow at him. "And you have a plan for us to be without company?" "Once your shift is over, I thought I might give you a tour of the club. So you could get to know it more, intimately." It feels like all the air in the room disappeared. The heat in his eyes is going to burn me from the inside out, and it takes everything I've got not to reach out and touch him. I remember what I felt when he caught me on the stairs, and I have no doubt he's thinking the same thing. Let me go get those drinks, I say. You don't want to keep your clients waiting. Hurry back. God, that smile could make a nun drop her panties. I will. I almost trip on my way out of the room. Ordering the drinks is easy. Once I say that they're for the owners, the bartenders drop what they're doing and have all 7 ready to go in record time. Then I'm in the elevator again, my arm burning with the weight of the tray and praying to God that I don't drop them all. It would be just my luck to trip on my way in the door and have everything crash. Thankfully that doesn't happen. I manage to swipe my hip across the sensor and the door slides away, and I make it to the bar in the room without tripping over myself. None of Cole's clients give me a second glance as I hand them drinks, but the owners all give me a smile and a soft thank you before turning back to their conversation. I save Cole's drink for last, and he catches my hand as I pass it to him. I've ordered some food from downstairs. Whenever it's ready. He smirks, not hiding the way he's looking at me. I'm dying for a taste. He doesn't remove his hand from mine, instead pulling me a little closer, and his thumb caressing the inside of my wrist. I think the temperature in here just rose 10 degrees. It certainly feels that way. My mouth is dry, even though in other places I'm wet. I'll check if it's ready. Thank you. I lean against the wall in the hallway, catching my breath. I've never met anyone who could do that, turn me on with a single touch on my wrist. And I am turned on. I want him to come out here in the hallway and make good on the subtle promises he's been making all night. His presence is powerful. I don't see how anyone wouldn't be drawn to it, and it's even more potent since he's focusing all this energy on me. I'm not someone who does one-night stands, but I know that if he says the word, I'll be in his bed without a second thought. Heading down in the elevator, I realize that I have no idea where the kitchen is. I didn't even know that you could order food. I wonder if it's only something the VIPs have access to? But first, I need to make a stop. Cole is undoing me with every glance, and if we're going to play this game, then it's going to be fair. I duck into the dressing room on my way across the club. I need a mirror. Yet. And since I seem to be serving just Cole tonight, it's an opportunity to take advantage. I tighten the band until it barely contains me. Using my thumbs, I shimmy the waistband of my pants down until they're an inch from falling off. You can see my hips now, and they're so low it's almost obscene, but looking in the mirror, it works. Final touches. I take some makeup from one of the dancers' stations and give myself quick smoky eyes, and use some shimmery powder on my stomach. It doesn't glitter, instead it makes my skin luminous. In the blue light of the VIP room, I think it will look amazing. Done. I grin at myself in the mirror. No longer a harried waitress, but a ex-club goer who happens to be serving drinks to the most powerful men in the building. Or at least that's how it feels. I get more than my fair share of looks as I make my way across the club to the kitchen. Rosie practically mows me down coming out of the kitchen with a tray. She gives me a look up and down and laughs. You catch on quickly. What? She raises an eyebrow. You've probably doubled the tips you'll get tonight. Oh. Right. It's not tips I was hoping to land, but I'll let her think what she wants. The food Cole ordered is ready, waiting with a little card letting me know what to take. There's also a blowtorch. Ever used one of those before? An older man in a chef uniform is looking at me skeptically. Nope, I say, and I have no idea what it's for. He nods. One of the things Mr. Andrews ordered was crème brûlée. He points to a bunch of little cups filled with custard. It's more entertaining for the guests if you torch the top in front of them. He picks up the torch and flicks it on, showing me the bright blue flame. Just run it lightly over the top until the whole thing is a medium brown. You'll be fine. Sure, I say. Sounds easy enough. I'm sure I don't sound convincing. But I have no idea who these clients are. If they're important, I want to make sure they have a good impression, so more entertaining it is. I grab the tray of food and head back across the club, sticking to the edge and dodging dancers as needed. There seems to be a rather heated discussion happening as I enter the blue room on the client's side, but they stop talking as soon as I enter the room. I get the feeling I should have knocked, but it's too late now. Cole chimes in to cover the awkwardness in the air. I took the liberty of ordering us some appetizers and desserts. Andrea. I bring the tray over to a larger table, a higher bar that's holding almost everyone's drinks. I place the tray down, and lay out the desserts. God, I hope I don't set everything on fire. I glance over at Cole, and I see the moment he registers the change in my appearance. His eyes stroke up and down my body visibly, and his mouth curls up in what must be the smirk I've ever seen. I'm concerned that the minute I light up this blowtorch that we're all going to explode. The clients and Cole's partners are speaking, commenting on the food, but I can't hear them. I'm distracted by the way Cole's eyes are on me, by the way he shifts in his seat, making it clear what he's trying to hide. I glance up from using the torch to see the light of it reflected in his eyes, and it only makes them burn brighter. Everyone's heard that expression about feeling like they were the only people in the room, and every time someone said anything like that, I thought that they were lying. They weren't. I managed to crown the tops of all the desserts without catching my clothes on fire, and I get a little round of applause as I turn off the flame with a flourish. Well done, Cole says, and I'm glad it's dark enough that he won't see the way my body heats up, blushing because of his praise. I distribute the small desserts to everyone, and one of the clients catches my arm as I put it in front of him. I agree, well done, he says. One strong pull, and I'm in his lap. His hand is around my waist, fingers stroking against my skin, pulling me down onto what is obviously an erection. I can think of other things that could be well done. He snickers, voice crawling across me like slime. There's no air in the room. I don't think I'm breathing, and I can't move. I hear someone clearing his throat, and I see Cole stand. This club is a haven for people to explore who they are, and you are welcome to do so. I'm sure you'll find plenty of willing people downstairs who would want to join you. However, my employees are off limits. That is not a service they provide, and if you put your hands on Andrea again, or any of my other employees, you will not be welcome here. Am I understood? The man, still nameless, loosens his grip and I scramble off his lap, putting distance between us. I understand, he says, but he's smirking. Good. Cole looks at me, and I can tell he's checking to see if I'm all right. But now that he's said that employees are off limits, he can't show me any kind of favor. That will be all, Andrea. Thank you. I'm sure Rosie could use your help downstairs. I nod, heading for the door, and I feel his eyes on me the entire way, and in the hallway it feels like I take my first real breath in minutes. What was I thinking? Cole Andrews owns this club. Even aside from the fact that I want him to strip me down and kiss every inch of skin, do I really want to be the girl who sleeps with the boss on the first day? Yet. Not the best plan. I make my way downstairs, trying to fight my disappointment at losing something that I never really had. I drop off a tray of drinks to a group of women watching people have sex. A girl is strapped to a table, a man is pleasuring her using a vibrator. She keeps screaming out every time the vibrator touches her, and it's hot. I imagine myself in her place, tied down while someone gives me no choice in pleasure, and heat runs straight through my body. The result is that I'm blushing furiously as I collect my tips. That's interesting. I've never considered anything like that. My life has been pretty normal. By the standards in this club, I think it'd be called boring. But, a few hours in here and I'm already thinking of all the different things I've never thought of that I could try. I mean, why not? If I'm going to work here I might as well experiment a little. Who knows, it could be that the atmosphere in here is making me crazy. It's intoxicating in its own way. I work my way across the dance floor, bobbing with the music and trying to take everything in. It's getting later, and there's far less clothing now. It doesn't matter which direction I face. There are scene areas lining the walls, and it seems like every one of them is being used. It's strange, seeing people like this out in the open like it's totally normal. But because nobody seems uncomfortable with it, it also doesn't feel awkward. In fact, it feels pretty great. This is not how I saw this job going, but I'm glad. I think I'm going to have way more fun here than at some normal restaurant job slinging soda. For the rest of my shift, I simply work. Filling drinks, taking orders. There's a woman suspended in the air by two men at the same time. There's a man down on his knees in front of another man. In another area, red wax splashes across a woman's and I find that I can't stop looking. The watch on my wrist vibrates, and I see that my shift is over. I hurry back to the bar, using my code to drop off all the cash that isn't tips, and I clock out. Normally when I finish a job I feel exhausted, but tonight I feel electrified. I wander back over to watch the couple with the wax as he drips the wax further down her body, closer and closer to her. The woman is squirming as the wax hits her, but it's obvious she's not in pain. Instead, it looks like she's about to come. God, I don't even know what that would feel like. Like what you see. The deep voice comes from behind me. I don't need to turn to feel Cole behind me, so close that we're almost touching. Almost. Maybe, I say. Honestly, I have no idea. Half of this stuff I never would have thought of. I'll be happy to introduce you to anything you like. I turn, trying to gauge the look on his face. I thought employees were off limits. Cole's eyes go dark and angry. I'm sorry that happened. I swear it won't again. I'm all right. It was just surprising. As for being off limits, he says, taking an impossible step closer. You know we have a strict no X while working policy. But now you're not on the clock, and anything that happens from now on has nothing to do with work. You're not an employee, you're a woman with the most tempting skin I've ever seen. I'm not your boss, I'm just a man who would like very much to introduce you to some of the things Club Deep has to offer. I raise an eyebrow. There will be X involved. That, he says, is entirely up to you. Cole leans down and his mouth meets mine. That fire that I thought was going to explode earlier roars through me with searing need. His arms come around me, and we're pressed together in all the right places. I open my mouth to him, allowing him to explore, and I explore right back. I really want him to touch. There's a scream from behind us. The only games we play here are X ones, Cole says. If we want something, we're direct. I want you, Andrea. He punctuates his words with fingers, moving in circles, sending pleasure coursing through me. Come with me. Where? He chuckles. One of the rooms upstairs. Your choice. You saw them earlier, which one would you like? My mind flashes through the themes: orgy, dungeon, Victorian, medical, office, beach, and the desert room. The room that's filled with silk and spices. Yes. I don't know what it's called. Officially. The room like a desert. You can call it whatever you like, Cole says. What's the fantasy? Sold to a Bedouin who wants to ravage you? First night in the harem? Captured and given as a gift to the king. I freeze at his last suggestion, the story opening up in my head like it was already there. Cole's laugh is soft in my ear. King it is then. He spins me away from him like we're dancing. I have to check in with my partners, make sure our clients left and let them know I'll be unavailable for the rest of the evening. Go pick out whatever you'd like. I'll send someone to help you get ready. He kisses my hand, and then he's gone, leaving me breathless and shaking. Oh God! This is happening. A day ago nothing like this would ever have been a part of my reality, and now there's nothing I want more. I shake myself from the thoughts, making my way to the stairs and up towards the desert room. Just like earlier, no one is in the desert room. I duck inside the little costume room, and look around. I assume that when he told me to pick out whatever I'd like that this is what he meant. A little thrill goes through me. This is so weird, and exciting. My heart is pounding in anticipation, thinking about what's going to happen when Cole joins me here. A fantasy. Those words he said, I haven't actually had a fantasy like that. Not directly, but when he said that. I don't know. It's like a pit of need opened up in my stomach. Everything about that vulnerability, helplessness, and royalty. I want all of that. I want to live in a fantasy world for just a while where nothing is quite real and everything is fun and playful. I flip through the racks of the clothes, from completely sheer outfits to outfits with so much detail and fabric that I'm sure I'd be swallowed up and invisible. I end up going for something a little in the middle. Blue and sheer, with just enough solid fabric that the essentials are covered and not much more. After all, if I were being given as a gift, I'm not sure modesty would be a consideration. I laugh out loud. I can't believe I'm doing this. Even if I hate it, it'll be a good story. The one time I tried to role play. I have the bottom half of the costume on a glittery skirt with a slit all the way to my upper thigh and nothing else when I hear the door open. I freeze. I didn't think about asking Cole what to do if someone else comes in to use the room. Do we still use it? Does he get priority because he's the owner? I'm not sure I want anyone else in the room. Hello. I call out. A petite woman about my age appears at the door to the dressing room, and I pull one of the other costumes out from the rack to cover myself. She smiles. I'm Emily, one of the scene attendants here. Mr. Andrews sent me to help you get ready. Oh. I relax, though I don't drop the costume that's covering me. I can do your hair if you like, she says, and I'm supposed to give you a quick rundown of rules and procedure. Rules. She smiles again. Don't worry, there's not many. The safe word is red. If something happens, you shout that and security will be in here in 10 seconds. I doubt you'll have need of that with Mr. Andrews, but you need to know. I nod. Safe X is required here at Club Deep. Even if you and your partner agree that it's not necessary, it's required here. Last rule, make sure you put your costume in the laundry bin. Sounds easy enough, I say. Good. Can I help you with the rest of the costume? Believe me, I've seen more people than I can count. I look down at the costume I forgot I was holding. Right. Okay. That makes sense, working in a place like this. I hold out the glittery top to her, and she helps me into it, cinching the ties in the back so that it fits properly. I remember that she offered to do my hair. I think I want to leave my hair down, if that's okay. Of course, she says. The only thing Mr. Andrews asked is that I blindfold you and make sure you're in place before I leave. A blindfold? Why? She grins at me. I think he wants to keep his entrance a surprise. Oh, and he'll make sure you two are not disturbed in here. All the rooms are monitored by security, but no one else will play while you're here. Good. She retrieves what looks like a long blue silk scarf the same color as my costume. He said something about not wanting it to be too overwhelming. I laugh. I'll have to emphasize a different word next time and see how he uses it. I wonder what would have happened if I had told him that it was hot or any other word. Anything else you'd like for your costume? I look down at myself, and I love it. My skin peeks out from underneath the sparkling fabric, both mysterious and obvious at the same time. No, I say, this is good. All right. She leads me out into the main room, which is much bigger than I thought from just observing the entrance. The silk hangings and strewn pillows are just the beginning. The silks are actually a tent, and Emily pushes them aside so we can enter what looks like pure luxury straight out of an Arabian fairy tale. Oriental carpets cover the ground with cushions and there are a few low velvet couches. It's warm, the low light coming from salt lamps filled with chunks of the rock, and the rich scent of incense fills the air. I would never know I'm in an underground club in the middle of Phoenix. Wow! It's the only word that comes to mind. Emily is in the center of the room. I think here will be the best view, if you want to do some surprising of your own, she says with a wink. Sure. I kneel down on the thick carpet, and Emily wraps the scarf around my eyes. It's soft, but I can't see through it at all. I'll let him know you're ready, and Mr. Andrews will be with you shortly, she says with a hand on my shoulder. And then I'm alone and I hear the outer door click shut. It's weird to wait in darkness like this. The silence is loud, rich, and I imagine this game we're playing is real. I imagine I'm the girl waiting for the king, and my gut begins to churn with nervousness. But there's a thrill there, too. Anticipation. I imagine I saw the king earlier, and thought that at least he was handsome. That maybe he would be kind. That maybe this would be a good thing. I'm not sure how long I wait. Time doesn't seem real when you can't see. It could be minutes or hours, either one making me aware of the space around me until it feels like I can see without using my eyes. My toes brush the thick carpet, digging into the fibers. I feel wavering heat on the left side of my face from one of the lamps. I inhale the scent of the incense and try to figure out exactly that scent is. Oak, orange, earth. The door opens with a soft click, and it's him. I can feel it. Suddenly I feel everything, the clothes and air on my skin, the anticipation in my gut, and the movement of him in the room. His footfalls are soft and steady, and I hear him enter the dressing room and the rustle of fabric. Then he's coming towards me, and my heart rate speeds up. An odd thought strikes me. Has this all been one night? I never thought my world could change so quickly. Then I hear the whisper of the silk tent and his voice, deeper, more commanding, just like a king. They told me a gift was waiting. You are not what I expected. And just like that, reality drops away. I swallow. No. No, the air moves around me, and I can feel him walking slowly around me. I think about just how much these clothes reveal and blush. He completes his circle, stopping in front of me, and I feel fabric brushing against my knees. Fingers are in my hair and I stiffen, and relax, realizing he's undoing the blindfold. Everything seems bright now, and I blink trying to regain my vision. When I do, I lose something else, my breath. Cole stands before me in a glorious costume. Long flowing pants, with an embroidered coat. He's shirtless under the coat, and the sight of his chest, perfect and sculpted, better than I even imagined, distracts me. There's a hint of ink peeking around his ribs, but I can't see what it is. His hair is tousled with the careless grace of royalty, and his stance holds the confidence and arrogance of the same. He's staring at me, his face unyielding, and my mouth waters. He's gorgeous, and every inch a king. Given to him or not, I want him. I shouldn't want him, but I do. He walks over to one of the low couches, sprawling across it with lazy grace. Stand, a command. There's nothing in his voice that doubts I'll obey. I stand, the clothes catching the light and sparkling. The split in the skirt falls open with the movement, exposing my leg. I see the corner of his mouth tug up into a ghost of a smile. Barely there. I clear my throat. What do I call you? Your Majesty will do. Or Highness. He moves his finger in a small circle. Turn. I do, slowly, feeling his eyes on me the whole time. It's like they're searing my skin with the heat they're giving, and despite myself, I feel that same tiny thrill, that desire. When I'm facing him again, he tilts his head like he's trying to solve a puzzle. "You're not from my country." "No, Your Majesty." He smiles. "So how did you come to be here?" I swallow again, the story coming to life in my brain. My family tends animals. I was alone with a group of cattle when I was taken. Sold at a market to the group that brought me here. He frowns a little. "And do you know who they are?" I shake my head. He considers me for a while in silence before speaking again. "Have you ever been with a man?" I look down at the carpet, face suddenly hot, body suddenly hotter. "No, Your Majesty." Silence again, longer this time. "I'm trying to figure out what to do with you." "I thought I know why you are here," he says, waving a hand. "I know what is expected. But since you didn't choose to be in my presence wearing clothes like that, I find myself with a bit of a conundrum." I don't say anything. "Unfortunately, the men who brought you here are not men I can afford to be on the wrong side of." He smiles. "I can't offend them by not accepting their gift in some way. But, I'm not a monster. I won't force you. If you do not wish it, I'll send you away, and you will have a place in my household as a servant." The words are out of my mouth before I can stop them. "And if I do, I'll have a place in your harem." He gives me that ghost smile. "Actually, I was going to say that I'll let you go home." My breath stills in my chest. "Really?" He nods. "And why couldn't it be both? You could send me away now and still let me go home." He stands, crossing the distance between us. "I wish it were that simple, but I'm not a fool. They have spies everywhere. If they see you leave my rooms now, and don't see you serving tomorrow, they will be offended. But if you leave in the morning, they'll never think of you again." I look up into his eyes, dark green and fiery, and I feel that desire again. But I'm a passionate man, and having somebody as beautiful here with me for the night is more temptation than I can bear. I look down, away from him, and his fingers find my chin, lifting my gaze back to his. "Give me tonight, and I'll give you your freedom." His lips touch mine. Softly at first, then not so soft. The world disappears and I can't remember anything but the feeling of his lips on my mine, the swooping of my stomach in free fall. For a breathless moment every part of my body is alive, fire spiraling through me and burning me up, turning me on, making me frantic with need. He pulls back from me, just an inch, enough to see my eyes. "Is that a yes?" "Yes, Your Majesty." "Good." Taking a step back, he shrugs out of his coat, tossing it onto the couch and removing his pants in one smooth motion so that he's in front of me. Stunning in the costume, he's even better without. I've never wanted anything so much. "Undress. You won't be needing those." He gestures to my clothes with a sultry smirk. He doesn't move, just stands there waiting, expectant. He doesn't make a move to help me. Just watches with that intense green stare that I can't seem to look away from. I'm shaking. I'm not sure if it's nerves or anticipation. Reaching back, I undo the ties on the top, and the weight of it makes it slither off my skin, landing in a heap at my feet. Suddenly he's there, hands running across my skin, kissing me hard. He leads me to the cushions on the floor and guides me down until he's laying over me. He's bigger than I realized, he's everywhere. Just enough to make me want more. To make me want everything. When you go home, wherever you're from, you can say I forced you if it makes it easier for them. But you and I will both know that it's not true. Yes, Your Majesty. And then he kisses me, and it's everything. Fire explodes between us and I reach out, pull him closer, run my hands over his ribs, feeling the hardness of his muscles and the faint trace of a scar. Pleasure, deep and real, is running through me, and God, if just kissing him is like this. He inches down my body, and it feels like he's kissing every inch of my skin. I get lost in the sensation of his lips, of the chills he's giving me. I think that if he just kept doing this I might come. But he has other plans, moving down and down and down until he's right there, and I can feel his breath. There's something so intimate about that feeling. I look down to find him watching me, like he was waiting for me to look. And I'm looking as he slowly licks me, the feral sound he makes sending a gush of wetness onto his tongue. He seals his mouth over me in response, sucking deep, and oh God! He touched me and I'm almost there. I cry out, my voice muffled by all the fabric surrounding us, and it feels like fire, and if it is, then I don't want to ever stop burning. He drinks me up, licking me deeper until I'm shaking and begging, until every last tremor has left me. Letting my hips down, I see his mouth glistening with my juices, and I'm ready to come again just to see more of that. It's so strange, such a blatant image of desire. Bright fireworks of pleasure blaze through my body, and no part of me is left untouched. I say, no longer in the world of fantasy. Now I'm just a girl sprawled on some pillows that had the best ex of her life. Cole pushes himself to the side, lying down beside me. He agrees. That was, I don't know. Cole strokes his hand down and my body shivers with remembered pleasure. I think it's going to be a reflex now, if and when he touches me. I don't know good or I don't know bad. He asks it softly, without judgment, but it makes me think. I don't know. I've never done anything like that. I laugh. This isn't what I expected when I came to my new job. Do you always have sex with the new girl on her first day? Cole laughs, and the sound rumbles through me. No, so why me? He pulls me against him. Besides the obvious reason that I am extremely attracted to you. Yet, besides that. I watch his eyes go hazy for a second, like he's remembering an image, and I take that moment to study the green in his eyes. They look like they're etched in gold because of the lights in here. It's mesmerizing. I can honestly say I'm not sure. But when I caught you on the stairs I felt something. Like you were so full of life you were bursting, and I knew that I wanted to know you more. And I am very attracted to you, he says smiling. I guess I know what you mean, I say. We lay in silence for a few minutes, Cole tracing my ribs with his fingers. Where do we go from here? How do you mean? I sit up on an elbow. I mean that you're my boss, and I don't want everyone to think right now I'm not your boss. When you come to work and clock in, then I'm your boss. I won't give you any special treatment. You're not going to get a salary bonus for sleeping with me. I'm not going to give you shifts that I think are better. When you're an employee, that's what you are. But once you clock out, if you're willing, I'd like to see you again. I can't help the smile that appears on my face. To do this. Something like it. There are a lot of things here that I think you'll like. It's so weird, I say. He frowns. What is this? I gesture around to the room we're in. I mean, not weird. It's just I never thought I'd be the person who would have X in AX Club. I never thought I'd be the person who had a job in AX Club. I know you'll probably think I'm lying, but I really never had any fantasies like that. I've always been normal. Cole leans over and kisses me. It's soft and sweet and has just enough power to make me tingle. This is normal, he says. As normal as anything really is. Normal is what you make it. Your choice. Normal can be having X under the covers with all of the lights off, or normal can be playing the captive to a king. He gives me a pointed look. Your normal can be whatever you want here. The way he says it, with such confidence, it eases my mind. He's right. Normal is what we make it. I can live with that. We collect our costumes for the laundry, and when we exit the room, I feel like I'm walking back into a different world. But I know that the thing that changed was me. Cole pulls me to him a final time, kissing me softly and running a hand through my hair. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you soon. Yes, you will. I make my way to the locker room feeling like I'm floating on a cloud. Even though I look like a mess, my hair tangled and makeup smudged, I don't think I've ever felt better. There's a dancer taking a break in the room, and she takes one look at me and smiles. You jumped in with both feet. I smirk at her. Why waste time? Fair point. I change into my regular clothes and gather my things. Can I really just go home after this like everything is the same? It feels like tonight lasted 10 years and returning to the real world will somehow shatter this amazing illusion. I guess I don't have a choice. I just hope that when I come back, when I see Cole again, that the illusion is still there. And maybe it's not an illusion after all. The entire day I've had pretty much only one thought in my head, I can't believe I did that. I had X with a total stranger. A stranger who is my boss. And I didn't just have X, I let him take me like I was given to him. What is with me? I keep wondering if they put something in the air in there that makes people go wild. And every time I think it, I know in my gut that it wasn't the club that made me do it. It was Cole. Gorgeous, perfect Cole. I find myself wondering what he's like when he's not pretending to be a king. What's he like in the morning when he first wakes up? How did he actually come to own AX Club? What's his favorite color? He's a mystery, and in spite of myself, I want to know more. The rational, logical, part of me says that I shouldn't go back. I should find a job that's less, I don't know. Less controversial? I should get out before I get in too deep. No pun intended. But I don't want to do that. I want to dive headfirst into whatever this is. I want to find out what part of me was missing before I discovered there was so much like this. Plus, I need the money. I really need the money. The bell over the door to the vet's office rings softly as I open it, and the receptionist smiles at me. Hey, Andrea. Hey. Can I see him? Sure thing. You know your way back. She knows me because I've been here every day for the last 5 days in a row. My golden lab, ironically named Brownie, has been here for those 5 days, prepping for, having, and recovering from a heart surgery. And surgery for any species is expensive. I thought I was going to be fine. I had savings. But layoffs never come when you expect them to. Which is why I really need the job at the club. I can't quit, even if I could convince myself that I shouldn't be there. I enter the back of the vet's office, where there's an open area for dogs to play, and Brownie spots me immediately. She's not quick on her feet just yet, but her tail is wagging and she comes over to me as quickly as she can. Hey girl, I say, sitting on the floor. Brownie curls up on my lap. It's something she's done since she was a puppy, and even though she's way too big to fit in my lap now, it doesn't stop her from trying. I scratch behind her ears, and her tail goes crazy. Man, I love this dog, and having her here makes me anxious. I miss the way she follows me around my apartment, bumping into the back of my legs when I stop too quickly. One of the vet assistants pops his head into the room. She'll be ready to go home in just a couple days. Doc wants to make sure the healing is going well and that her rhythm is all set before he lets her go. I nod. Thanks. Another 2 days of boarding here. Yeah, there's no way I can quit this job. There's a glimmer of excitement that races through me. Will I see Cole tonight at the club? What will I do? What will we do? Am I crazy? Probably. But there's nothing I can do about that now. Instead, I pet my dog, spending as much time as I can with her before I have to start my shift. I don't see Cole that night. In fact, I don't see him at the club for 3 days. But that doesn't stop me from looking for him. From thinking about him. From going home and writhing in my sheets with my fingers between my legs pretending that he's the one there instead. I'm beginning to think that I imagined him completely. But then, as I'm clocking out Thursday night, he appears next to me like a magician. He was nowhere and then standing next to me. Hello. Where did you come from? I ask him, trying to calm my heart that's now pounding both from surprise and the fact that he's here. The elevator. I shake my head. No, I mean you just popped up. I'm stealthy, he says, smirking. Yeah. I lean my hip against the bar. Very. So stealthy I haven't seen you in a few days. I'm sorry about that, I had to go out of town suddenly. I didn't have your phone number, and I thought that getting it from the employee records would be a breach of privacy. Oh. It takes me a second to realize what he's saying. You want my number? I do. I suppress a grin. Okay. He puts it into his phone before extending his hand to me. Are you free? For what? I put my hand in his. I'll show you. Cole pulls me across the club, towards the side closer to the kitchen. Under the overhang of the second-floor balcony is a large seating area with a large glass box in the center. I've never seen it used until now. A couple is inside, and she's pressed up against the glass. The chairs around the stage are filled, and I see moving hands and kissing and hear soft moaning. Cole sits on a couch towards the back of the seating area and pulls me down onto his lap. The exhibition box, he says. It works for people who want to watch and people who want to be watched. I haven't looked away from that couple. I can't hear anything from the box, but it's obvious she's about to come. Her head is thrown back, eyes closed in pleasure. I imagine that she's screaming, her cries echoing around the box and spurring her lover on. Cole's fingers are at my waist, and I glance at him. No. Watch them. I do. What do you think of them? I can't think when his hands are on me. Who? Them. He nods his head towards the couple. It's hot, I say, squirming. How he found it so quickly I can only assume is the same kind of magic that made him appear out of seemingly thin air. And can you imagine yourself in her place? Can you imagine the whole club watching me with you? Cole punctuates his words with his fingers, and my body responds. I think about him filling me up the way he did before, I think about being trapped against the glass, nothing holding me up. Yes. I keep the image in my mind going, adding in the club, the people watching, the music, and I freeze. Everything goes from hot to cold, and I know it's not right. No, I say. Cole stops. No what? No people, I say, my face flaming at the thought of someone watching me have sex. Real, sickening anxiety invades my stomach at the thought. I don't mind watching, but I don't want people to see me. I push the last words out, nervous that he's going to change his mind suddenly. That now that I'm saying no to something, he won't be interested in exploring the rest of the club with me. He won't be interested in me. But he doesn't do that. He just takes me in and smiles a little. Fair enough. It's not for everyone. My body relaxes, and he starts to tease me again, more softly than before. What about the possibility of someone watching? Sometimes people like the thrill of being caught, but not having a direct audience. I nod. That's fine. I'll just have to find something different to do with you, Cole says, pressing his lips against my neck. The result is that it feels like he's kissing me there, just like he wanted. He chuckles against my skin. So many possibilities. Like what? My voice is breathless and I close my eyes, trying to block out everything else but his fingers. I have an idea. You tell me if you like it. Okay. I want to take you upstairs to the Victorian room, he says softly. Then I'll strip you. There's a giant bed in that room, I know you've seen it. I want to tie you down so you can't move until you scream. I'll be able to take you as many times as I want and you won't be able to stop me. I thought you might like that idea. Who says I like it? You, he whispers. How did you know? How can you know that's what I like? We barely know each other. I know a little bit about you, he says. I know you live alone and are single, and that you're trying to make your way on your own. Turning to face him more fully, I raise an eyebrow. You looked me up. I may have, he says. I'll remind myself to Google you when I get home. My point was simply this: you liked playing a slave to a king. Your body responds when I talk about tying you down. Many people, women especially, have fantasies like that. Not because they want to be a slave or tied up, but because it means you'll be able to let go. You won't have to make the decisions for a little while and someone else will take care of you. His words strike home like they're resounding in my gut and in my skull. It's true. When we were playing, I didn't have to think. I didn't have to worry, and it was perfect. How strange. And as if he's reading my thoughts, Cole presses a kiss just below my ear. It's not weird. It is. A little. Even if it is, he says, flexing his fingers against my G-spot, I promise that once I show you how good it can be that you won't care. So you're into that? Tying people up. He grins, stopping his teasing and starting to thrust into me in earnest. All the thoughts I was trying to process fly right out of my head with the way he's rocking into me, hitting exactly where I need him. I'm into many things. Variety is the spice of life, you know. I think I did know that, I say, my fingers digging into his shoulder. What's your favorite color? What? A groan escapes me, and I know that he's going to make me come right here on this couch, but I need to know something about him. Anything. It takes me a second to realize that I said it out loud. Blue, he says, but not any blue. Blue so dark it's almost black, like the color of the night sky in summer. Cole kisses me, I love watching you come. He kisses me again, scooping his arm under my legs and standing. His lips cover my squeak in surprise, but I push at him. Put me down. He doesn't. We're going to the Victorian room. What kind of gentleman would I be if I let you walk there by yourself? Then, softer, the same rules apply. Safe X and safe word anytime you want. Okay. Let me take care of you tonight. I'm worried that he's going to stumble and fall, drop me, but even as we climb the stairs he's perfectly steady. I lean my head on his shoulder. What does that mean? He chuckles, and the deep vibrations in his chest are soothing. Like I said before, we don't play any games here. I mean what I say. I want to take care of you. That means you don't have to make any more decisions tonight. All you have to do is say yes and feel. And come, he adds. A lot. I feel the tension drain out of my body, and I relax into his hold. Okay. My heart is pounding so fast and so loudly that I'm surprised that Cole can't hear it. Everything is mixing together, anticipation and anxiety and lust. It's exactly like he said it would be. He carried me all the way to the Victorian room, putting me down only once we'd crossed the threshold. And then he undressed me. Slowly, he kissed every swath of skin he uncovered, and when he was on his knees in front of me, having removed the last of my clothing, he used his lips then, too. I think I'm a little bit in love with his lips. And his wicked, sinful tongue. But he won't let me come again. Instead he brings me to the edge, letting me hang there. My cursing in frustration only makes him laugh, and reminds me that the decisions are his, and that he promised it would be worth it. It well better be. He lays me down on the bed, hands stroking across my body and making me moan, making sure that my skin is on fire with lust for him. And he keeps his word again, tying me down. Cole pulls soft, fleece-lined leather cuffs from below the bed. On at a time, he wraps them around my wrists and ankles, adjusting the length of rope until I barely have room to flex. Bound and stretched, completely at his mercy. I don't think I've ever been more turned on. The tighter the ropes became, the wetter I get, until I can feel it dripping from me, onto the bed. And right now, Cole can see it too. He's standing at the end of the bed, admiring his handiwork. He has a satisfied smirk on his face, and he might as well be saying, "I told you so, I knew this would turn you on." But he doesn't say anything. I almost regret our rules. I'd do it over and over again until you'd come so much you couldn't remember your own name. And I'd come so deeply inside you that you'd never forget it. Never in my life have I made a sound that I would consider a whimper, but that's what I do. With his fingers in my mouth and my own taste on my tongue, the image he paints is so vivid that I want it. Rules are made to be broken, I say. Not when you're the one who makes the rules, every move quick and efficient, just like the last time. Especially when you're the one making the rules, I try to argue. That's really the only time you get to ignore them. Cole shakes his head. No. Those two rules are not ones to break. We'll just have to keep that idea for another time. He's grinning now, but I will admit that seeing your lips wrapped around my lips is not something I want to wait for. I don't have to ask him what he means. In a moment, he's on the bed and straddling my waist. The weight of him pulls on my restraints, and I remember what position I'm in. "You've got gorgeous," he says, "this could be fun, too." His words sink in, and it clicks. I don't have a choice. There's a difference between knowing you won't have a choice and feeling it with your body. I don't have a choice. Unless I use the safe word, we'll do what Cole wants. Against all logic, my body relaxes. It accepts it. He was right. It feels so good to let go. To not have to worry about whether I can pay my bills or whether to take Brownie out of rehab early or if I should apply for a second job. I don't have to worry about anything right now. I'd forgotten what it feels like to be worry-free. Nagging worries are second nature to most of us now. I open my eyes to find Cole watching me. He smiles. It's a gentle smile, one of understanding. "How do you feel?" "Good," I mumble. "Really good." He runs his hands upward, smoothing them across my chest and up the sides of my face. He makes sure I'm looking at him, and I think he's judging something, but I don't ask. "That's good," he says. Afterwards, I'm screaming and laughing and cursing and "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." My breath is still coming in gasps, and I still can't move. I don't have any words. He lifts his head from where he's let it fall against my chest. "That's all right." I jump as he pulls out of me, my body now so sensitive a gentle breeze would probably make me jump. When he's finished, he crawls onto the bed with me, pulling me close and wrapping me in his arms. It feels so good just to rest there, head on his chest. I'm not bound anymore, but I still feel like I don't have any worries. I feel safe. I'm 32 years old. He draws a calming hand down my side. "You wanted to know more about me, so I'm telling you. I'm 32. I'm an only child. My favorite kind of food is Italian. I'm a dog person. How's that? I want to know more. How much more? All of it, I grin. He tilts his head to look at me. That's going to take some time. I know. He leans down to kiss me. All right then. And that's how it happens. Suddenly, I'm swept up into Cole's world, and we fall into a comfortable rhythm of talking. Over weeks, I explore almost all the rooms and play with him. He makes me come on his tongue in the ocean room so many times I get dizzy. In the office room, I play the naughty secretary and let him bend me over the desk. He ties me up again, this time in the dungeon. There's even a time when he stops the VIP elevator between the floors and lifts me up, against the wall. And in between there's talking and texts. We learn about each other. I tell him about Brownie and her surgery, and he tells me about how he grew up in Montana. I learn that he hates wearing jeans and he'd almost always rather be wearing a suit. I learn that he was a junior rodeo champion. Little by little I learn who he is, besides the man who makes my body feel like it's burning up with pleasure. And little by little, I let him see me. It seems like a long time since I've had that with anyone. My last relationship was in college, and it didn't end well. Ever since then, it hasn't seemed worth it. It's a Friday when I get the text, so I've been thinking, we've never seen each other outside of Club Deep. I think it's time we went on a real date. I've been wondering when this would happen, and I'm not sure I'm ready. Pleasuring the boss when no one knows about it is one thing, but making it clear that you're dating the boss is entirely another. I'm starting to gel with the other waitresses. Rosie seems to like me, and I'm making friends. I don't want any of them to hate me because they think I'm trying to sleep my way up the ladder or something. I type and delete my response several times before landing on one that I think won't hurt his feelings. Going public will change things. I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Can I think about it? His response is immediate, and I relax. Of course. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. I'll see you tonight. By now, I should know that Cole would be the last person to pressure me into something I'm not ready for. All this time he's been helping me explore, and if I say no to something, he doesn't push, doesn't press. If it's a hard no, then that's the end of it. See you tonight. When will I be ready? I need some kind of signal because I'm not used to any of this. I want to try something different tonight, Cole says, appearing next to me as I punch out. I jump. Geez. How do you do that? Do what? He's smiling innocently, but he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Sneaking up on me like that. It's like you're a ghost or ninja. I prefer ninja, he says, taking my hand and pulling me towards the VIP elevator. Ghosts can't touch anything. Oh. The elevator doors close behind us. There's something you plan on touching. You could say that. We're going to the yellow room. We're passing through the circular hallway, stopping when we come to the portion filled with yellow light. What's in here? He scans the door open, and I see for myself. Just like the blue room, most of this room is made of glass. Though this one opens up to the dance floor on the main level below, allowing the pounding music to flow in. Unlike the blue room, there's a cage in this room. It's just like the dancers' cages down on the main floor. Cole steps behind me, wraps his arms around me. His mouth is at my ear. Will you dance for me? I look at the cage, perched in the open space, overlooking the club below. We're high enough up that I don't think anyone would be able to see me from below. Anyone in the other VIP rooms though, they'd have a perfect view. Which is exactly what he wants. Cole knows that people will be able to see me and know that I'm dancing for someone else. He wants them to be jealous. A shudder of heat goes through me at the idea of being so wanted. Yes, I say in answer. He knows that I don't want an audience, but I told him that the chance of people watching didn't bother me. And now, I know that it turns me on. He doesn't reply with words, instead I feel his lips at my neck, warming my skin, and I feel his hands at my waist undoing the buttons on my pants. He undresses me, piece by piece, leaving a trail of clothing behind as he walks me to the cage. He caresses my skin as it's revealed, shoulders, ass, back. Each touch making me more aware of him and how he sees every little part of me. How his eyes are going to devour me once I'm in that cage. I'm not a very good dancer, I say, breathless under the attention he's giving me. Dancing is very much, he says, and having pleasuring you, I know that's not true. You've got to be an amazing dancer. I blush as his mouth continues its path across my skin, and back up to my collarbone. With a final tug, my panties drop to the floor and I'm in front of him. My back is against the bars of the cage, cool metal making me shiver as he presses his completely clothed body into me. Even so, I can feel how hard he is. It's not fair how many layers you have on, I tell him. Cole smirks and bends to kiss me. His lips touch mine, and I swear that I'm on fire from the heat. Our tongues dance with each other and he steals my breath, plunging deep inside my mouth the way I want him to be deep in other places. And then he pulls away all too soon. I never said I would play fair. We stare at each other. I'm challenging him, and he's waiting for me to back down. The heat in his eyes burns through me the same way it did on the night we met, unstoppable and unyielding. In you go, he says softly. I step into the cage, looking down through the glass floor to the club below, watching the sea of moving bodies. I thought I might feel some kind of vertigo or fear of heights stepping onto the clear surface, but I can tell that it's rock solid. I'm not going anywhere. The door to the cage closes, and I hear a little click. I turn to see Cole closing a tiny padlock on the outside. What are you doing? His hand snakes through the bars of the cage and around the back of my neck, pulling me forward to kiss me. My captive, he says as he breaks away from the kiss. I push towards him, and the cold metal of the bars makes me shiver. I'm the king of this club, and if you want your freedom, you're going to have to earn it. My stomach drops with that same desperate need that's become so familiar around him. That same fantasy in very different circumstances. This feels more solid, more real. This isn't a game of pretend, this is me and Cole. This is his eyes on me. This is me giving my body to him. God, yes. Cole's fingers graze my jaw as he retreats, sitting on the couch in the middle of the room. Anyone looking would think he's utterly relaxed, but I can feel his eyes on me, and I know that he's never been more focused. I'm glad he's across the room, not close enough to see the blush that heats my cheeks, doubts and confusion crowding my mind as quickly as the arousal that's flowing through me. I'm locked in a cage while he watches. How's it possible that I find this so hot? I almost laugh. Why not? With the things that go on in this club, I'd have to ask that question 100 times. Just because it's not something that everyone does doesn't make it wrong or weird. The people that frequent Club Deep are a testament to that. None of them would bat an eye seeing a girl in a cage. More than a few would stop to watch. My body relaxes, and I listen to the music of the club. It's a sensual rhythm one made for hips to move against each other. I try to imagine that instead of being in a cage across from him, I'm in the middle of that dance floor with Cole. What would I do? How would I touch him? How would I dance for him? I put those thoughts into my head as I begin to move. I use the small space of the cage to my advantage, using the bars to steady myself. Leaning and twisting and pressing. I let myself go and it feels like I become the music, my body an extension of the rhythm moving through the air. And through everything, Cole watches me, and I watch him. It feels like we're connected across the space by something visceral and physical. I can feel my wetness running down my legs as I dance, and the longer I'm in the cage, the more aroused I become. I want to earn whatever he has planned for me. Rolling my body against the bars of the cage, I watch as he begins to stroke himself, his eyes never leaving mine. He starts slowly, we stare at each other. Even though I'm free and dancing, I feel bound by him, bound by his eyes and his hand and his desire to watch me. I'm not sure how long we stay like that, me dancing, Cole stroking. It seems like we've been like this for only a few seconds, and also forever. Cole stands. He approaches the cage slowly, and I slow my dance, deliberately teasing him as he approaches. Closer and closer he comes, until he's standing directly in front of the bars. Until he's pressed against them. All it takes is a raised eyebrow from him to send me to my knees. I know how I'm going to earn my freedom. I reach out to touch him, running my fingers along his skin and tracing everything from the head to the base. He hisses out a breath and I grin up at him. If he's going to make me earn my freedom, then I'm going to make sure I tease him. I brush my lips across the tip, just touching. It's a split-second decision, but I decide to do everything slowly. I want him in delicious agony. The tip of my tongue draws a slow line around his head, dragging across the top, tasting the salty. I draw lines up and down his shaft, lapping at his skin as slowly as I can. Glancing up, I see that Cole's eyes are closed and his hands are fisted around the bars of the cage. He's gripping the metal so hard that his knuckles are white, and I smile because I know that my plan is working. I take him into my mouth a millimeter at a time, moving forward and back slow and steady. My lips drag at his skin, and I love the feel of him, the taste. I love the look on his face of utter bliss. I may not have known I'd like any of the things here at Club Deep, but I've always loved this. Using your mouth on someone is so intimate and so personal. It's entirely about the other person's pleasure, the ultimate act of giving. One of Cole's hands lands in my hair, fingers weaving in and holding on. He urges me faster, and I resist. I suck him deeper a little at a time, and he groans in frustration. I laugh, letting him feel the vibrations on his skin. He chose this, he has to live with it. But as I take him deeper, suck him harder, I start to move faster. I match my mouth to the rhythm of the music surrounding us, and Cole groans. His fingers grip harder in my hair and the sounds coming from him roll across my skin in shivers. His breath goes short and there's a moment where I feel him take control, and I let him have it. Stand up. Turn around. Bend over. Cole's voice is rough, brimming with urgency and restraint as he tells me what he needs. I do as he says, pressing me against the cage. It's small enough that I can grab the other side and use it to steady myself. I hear the sound him, and then he's there. Cole unlocks the cage and pulls me out, guiding me over to the couch. He pushes me down onto it playfully. Your turn. It's all right, I say. No, it's not, he says seriously. With me, you always come. I raise an eyebrow. That's quite a promise. One I intend to keep. He kneels in front of me, grabbing my ankles and pushing them up until I'm nearly bent in half. I giggle, you trying to test my flexibility? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just trying to have the best access. There's a witty reply on my tongue, but it evaporates into thin air as he starts to use his. Oh. Sweet. MMM. Yes you are. I'm so close. The door slides open and Rosie strides into the room. Mr. Andrews, there's something that needs your immediate. She freezes as she realizes what she's seeing, the owner of the club with me. Rosie's mouth is open in shock, and I can feel the tension in the room. Cole leans back far enough to turn his head towards her. Rosie, please leave. His voice is calm and level, but also a voice of a boss that I wouldn't disobey. I'm sorry, she says, gathering herself. You're needed downstairs. There's an edge in his tone now. Whatever it is, I'm sure that Hudson or Julian or security will be able to handle it. But leave. Now. Rosie hesitates another second, giving me a long look before disappearing out the door. As soon as it shuts, I let out a relieved sigh. What was that? The sudden reality of the situation crashes around me, and my whole body blushes. That was horrible, and embarrassing and awkward. Cole smirks. Just a little, but not the end of the world. But now everyone is going to look at me like I'm the girl who's the boss. Is that such a bad thing? That's not what I meant, I say, sighing and leaning back against the couch. But people aren't really fans of people that do that. Looks like you're already going to have to break your promise. I am, he narrows his eyes. You think a little interruption like that is going to stop me from making you come? He slides 2 fingers into me, right against my G-spot. His other hand presses down low on my belly and with the first thrust, I'm back. Oh my god, the way he's pressing down takes me right to the edge. His fingers are hitting it directly, and suddenly I'm seeing stars. And he does keep his promise. In minutes I come, screaming, grabbing his shoulders, and spasming on the couch. The club disappears and the pleasure burns through me like dynamite, colors exploding behind my eyes and in my veins. Cole milks all the pleasure he can from me with his fingers until I can't take it anymore, until I'm begging him to stop. See, he says. I keep my promises. Goody 2 shoes, I say, rolling my eyes. He laughs. Be careful. I might have to spank you. Is that another promise? Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.